All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got another game, another you, another me in the left-hand corner of the map. It is Icefox. He's going to be playing some Ra for us today. He has been playing a little bit of Ra of late, trying to find his way through with this god. Lots of people say he's pretty weak. Some people say he's pretty strong, but he is a god nonetheless. His opponent today in the red color is going to be Matreiuss. Matreiuss is the Loki goat at the moment. He is the man making Loki work to some degree. He does open up with a double berserk here on this map. It's kind of interesting to do this versus Ra because you know that if you can deny the priest a little bit, you just get all the goats. And he finds the priest, he gets some damage done, and then all of a sudden, Matreiuss is not going to have any issues with food in this game. He's literally going to be able to run in, drop spy on the villager. He's going to collect all the goats on this right-hand corner, run back. He's going to then pull back all the goats on this left-hand corner. Meanwhile, Firefox is going to be trying to wander across the map. He might be able to steal these goats here if he's lucky. He's going to wander across this map, look for an obelisk somewhere here. But by that stage, you have to imagine that Matreiuss will have found everything. You have to imagine that. But we'll see as Firefox is going to be wandering forward. Now, the interesting part about this matchup is effectively what is the Ra going to choose to do. You can kind of go Bast. You can definitely go Dar. You can kind of go Bast here. The Dar angle has some pretty severe weaknesses in the super early game. And if the Ra player is not aware of that, then you will lose quite a few games to a Loki player. Now, on top of this, if the Loki player is aware of this, and he knows that the Ra player is aware of this, now we get into this kind of weird metagaming thing where the Loki player can start doing some moves that do shake up like the pathways through this matchup in a really, really big way. So I don't know if it's metagaming or whatever you want to call it, but there is some super interesting stuff here. So we'll see how it's gonna go as Firefox does get to find himself 3 goats after all, and the goat count after the early game is going to be 20. Is there more to come? No, I think that's it. There's 20 goats to 7. So a pretty gnarly advantage here for Matreiuss just on the food department, which now if I'm Matreiuss and I have this, I'm almost thinking, let's grab husbandry super early. And let's also come out and eat our hunt as soon as we possibly can. And then we're going to be moving back into our base a little bit later and then go onto the chickens and then go into our goat. And just leave the rest of the food for anything. That way, our villagers are always going to be safe. There's no way for him to raid us. If he does try and raid us on that initial hunt, that's when we have the advantage in this matchup. And I think you'll see what I mean, I think, with the military resource differential early on. In that you just don't have more stuff, or you don't have the right units that can counter what the Loki play. You have to get more units out as the Egyptian. And then as the game goes on, the Egyptian player will then have more stuff, basically. But Firefox says, screw it. I'm going to take the latest advance time I possibly can. This is absolutely wild. I was like hyping up how cool the Matreiuss game plan was here, but Firefox is just flipping the script a little bit. I think this is super interesting. He wants to play one town center, and he knows he doesn't have an advantage early on. So he's going to sit in his base, mass up an army, and enjoy the bonus economy that he gets from advancing later. And for those of you guys who go, well, what's the point in advancing later? I mean, you're still gonna have the same amount of villages anyways. The point is you get those villages out earlier. You get them out an entire minute earlier. Which ends up meaning that if I advance, say, at 4 minutes normally, versus, say, advance at 5 minutes, That's going to be 4 villager differential, roughly. And let's just call it 4. It used to be 4 villagers. Let's call it a 4 villager differential early, which means I'm going to get myself 60 times 4. As long as I don't lose any villagers to an early... Okay, at least it's not just me that loses villagers immediately to Matreiuss. That's embarrassing. That's 2 Hersa that just wander in, pick off a villager. That's not it. Yeah, if Matador goes for a Heimdall rush, or like any attempt to go super aggressive against this type of an idea, then life would be really tricky. But maybe Firefox knew what was going on because he saw the second Berserk. He knows there's not going to be a fast advance from Matreiuss. However, all of Firefox's advantage that he just got is now down the drain because he lost a villager. So he probably gained about 240 resources on advancing later. He lost a villager, which basically means in 4 minutes, that advantage is gone. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind with how this sort of early game has gone. But realistically, I'm genuinely shook that Firefox dropped a villager to 2 Hersa. That it's like makes no sense. At this level. This is not something that happens very often. You can see all the units are now going to be pumping out. He's going for Axeman Slinger. Generally speaking, Axeman Slinger is going to be really, really tough to break. Obviously, the ultimate counter to this, if Matreiuss is watching, which you can see the Axeman coming out, you can see the Slinger, he can just go for raiding cavalry here. Just mass raiding cavalry with a handful of thrown axemen. Then he can dance the thrown axemen in the fight so that they don't get hit by the slingers. And the raiding cavalry are going to be able to deal with everything until some of the slingers start getting picked off, and then the thrown axemen can get involved. So it can be doable. Also, Kavod, thank you for the raiding party. I hope your stream went well. I hope your prep for the tournament is going well, and all the other good stuff that comes with that, as the spearmen are going to be getting queued out for Firefox. And he is just going to be continuing to make this army out. And this is somewhat what I'm talking about with the quote-unquote metagaming that happens with the Egyptian play. When the Norse player knows what the Egyptian player's weaknesses are, generally you don't have time to do this. Generally, you're getting these walls up is quite difficult, like straight away. But if your opponent is going to be sitting in their base and massing up an army, like Firefox is, as you can see, the military differential is slowly starting to creep up. Upgrades are coming through, and you're going to start seeing the Firefox army slowly become that little bit more powerful than or military population-wise. It's going to become that little bit more powerful. The walls here get up, and all of a sudden, Matreiuss has himself a gold mine. He's got himself safe food. He's also got this. And then he also says, let's drop a town center, which is absolutely wild. If this gets caught, like, the game is over, right? But it is Ra. Ra doesn't know what's going on, and Firefox knows that his timing to have an advantage here is probably about now. Like, you kind of want, as the Ra, to walk forward around about like 7:30, if it's my guess, and poke the enemy Norse player to see what they're going to do. And if they charge in and attack you, you're shifting sands away because you know that they've been spamming units. If they don't, then you know that something weird is going on, and you can sit there and you can actually get some damage done with your army. But right now, Matreiuss has this town center. This is really, really tough to crack. The walls are up. Breaking these walls is also really tough to crack because there's a town center here. But Matreiuss's army is going to be really, really weak here. I'm not exactly sure he's going to be able to defend all of this, but we'll see. It all comes down to Firefox's micro with the slingers and to take out those throwing axemen. He is microing the Wadgers to take out the front line, but he can't break through here. He sees the town center, and now what? I mean, there's a world here where you just say, okay, no worries. Let's go for heroic age. Let's go for a second town center, and we just play for that. Or you just go max population and you just try and break the main base and things like that. You can see Matreiuss is now going for himself the watchtowers, trying to break this one here. The way to break a wall against Norse, wow, the damage on that army, that hurts. Now Firefox has to pull back and heal everything up. The way to break these sort of walls against Norse is you have to either put your slingers directly behind your infantry such that they can hit the thrown axemen who are defending the wall, or you just need to take the wall down with your slingers and your wadgets, and that way you can sort of enter. But yeah, the longer this goes on, obviously the better for Matreiuss. And we just see Firefox smartly on this gold mine. He's trying to poke through over here. Lots and lots of low HP units. Has to pull back when the trolls come through. Getting a little bit of damage onto those cave trolls from the wadgets. Does he kill it? He does manage to take that one out. There is a healing spring in the main base here for the time being. The dwarves, however, have finished up on the gold mine. And now is the most terrifying position for Matreiuss to be in. He's on this gold mine. The army is in his base. The military differential is quite large. But the villagers will need to pull off of this gold mine. They're going to do a little bit of a jockey, maybe up to the top side. Picking off a villager or two here is very, very big. Raiding cavalry swinging around to the top. Matreiuss needs to get himself medium raiders. The raiding cavalry are, sorry, medium cavalry. The raiding cavalry are without question a very, very average unit. But once they get to at least medium, then they have a little bit more survivability and they're going to be able to sit on that army that little bit longer. But for the moment here, Firefox is not going to be getting reinforcements. Really, really nice usage of this position from Matreiuss. And Firefox has to like mass up an army to push forward past the raiding cavalry while preventing this gold mine and somehow preventing this gold mine. Now, potentially here, if Firefox had gotten very, very aggressive, he could have come up and put some barracks here or something, but not happening just yet. Matreiuss with the micro as well. Not enough units on this position for the time being. He is taking out some units over here for the for this one as well, but Matreiuss is getting so much value. He does lose a couple of raiding cavalry, but on the retreat here, he's getting so many kills. And this tiny... Oh my god, where's he gone? Did he go? Okay, he's onto the middle villages here. If he can prevent these villagers from escaping, the game will be able to sort of go on, probably with an advantage for Firefox. But he's just losing so much military that I don't think he's gonna. His army is stopped. I don't think he's gonna kill all these villagers. Idling them is nice, but he just used his classical age god power. This is his big. This is the big ticket god power to be using. And Matreiuss has just run around the map, and he still has 12 villagers remaining after that. I don't know, Matreiuss getting away with murder in this game or just playing really well. I'm not sure, but now he can move back onto the gold mine, puts his wall back up. Military differential is getting closer and closer. The gold situation, he's got 30 villagers on a gold on this gold mine. That's too many. He's not going to be able to have that many on one gold mine, but you can also throw up a market, start selling, no problems. He's on in the main base on these goats. I didn't bring this up, but he's got the husbandry in, so he's basically hunting inside the main base as well. And now Firefox has to yet again try and break down the wooden gate, get in here and take a fight. The priests are going to be moving forward, at least getting some more damage to wadgets. That's so many wadgets here. I mean, if one mismovement from the wadgets and they will all... Okay, they one mismovement from the wadgets and they will all die. One mismovement as he walks straight and he loses 3 or 4 immediately, and I think this game is just simply over in that one moment as Matreiuss somehow, someway makes this Egyptian army look like a paper army. Now, Matreiuss doesn't even need to do anything more here. He can keep pushing. He can pull back underneath the town center and keep playing defense. He's in front on military. He's in front on villages. His army is really, really strong, and he does get the win there. So a short game, but man, I mean, there's so much detail inside of this game that there's so much detail. Grabbing this town center, maybe because of the double gold mine, maybe because of the forests here, those sort of decisions. But also Firefox, I think Firefox, like without question, like 70% of the time, I reckon that shifting sands onto the second gold mine is going to get you 10 to 15 villager kills. And in this game, I don't even know if he got like 3. I mean, where is it? You see the Matreiuss villagers just continue to go up right here. He went from 49 down to 40. He got 3 villagers. That's it. He got maybe 4 because there probably was another villager that got trained there, right? So it's that's the thing. That's the big difference. And of course, this fight here, the Wadgets, I don't know, they just sort of moved forward. Maybe a misclick from Firefox. Maybe not. I don't know. Would have been interesting to see how that fight would have gone. It was kind of a military resource. It was kind of close-ish here. Matreiuss taking the fight because of the mismovement. Maybe he wouldn't have taken it if the mismovement didn't happen. But yeah, those are the sort of things that can really, well, obviously that's the power of the Norse army, is to catch your opponent out with one mismovement and then just sweep it. Nonetheless, a well-played game. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you hit the follow on the Twitch, if you're on YouTube, see that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next game.